Alright, here's a different view of my satellite setup that you might not normally see. So I got a bit of a scrap metal pile here. I have some people coming to take Black Beauty away. I took the scaler ring off Black Beauty because I figured I want that. There goes Black Beauty in the trailer. Today I'd like to talk about getting a tripod for your dish. Now you might want to set your dish up at a trailer or someplace portable. What I recommend is get yourself a good tripod. Now in this case you can't see it, but I've screwed a few pieces of wood to help base it into the ground, and put some and buried it a little bit in the ground, and I throw on top of that I have this bucket back here just to weigh it down so the dish doesn't tip over in a heavy windstorm. I've only had it happen like with really bad winds, like 90 kilometer mile per hour winds. I have had this thing fall down off the Black Beauty, but so you can get a tripod like this at your free-to-air satellite store, which would be someplace online where you have to order it in, unless you live in a city where they have to sell these tripods. So I just have this one just kind of in the ground a little bit. Make sure you get yourself a painted galvanized steel pipe. I made the mistake of just getting whatever I could find, and it's all rusted on me now, which I have on my Geosat Pro. Now you don't need to have it perfectly plumb like this if you're going to have just a fixed location dish. I was going to put a motor on this, but I just haven't found a motor that is round like this, and I can fit this in like that, or put this part through the motor part and get that working for us. So yeah, you can use these screws here to, if you do need to get it perfectly straight, you can straighten it up with these screws here, and as you hold it in. And I'll show you my other dish. So this one here, I just have a tripod here as well. I have it on a concrete patio stone, and I just threw some center blocks on top of the wood, and the dish looks a little crooked, but it's actually because it's on the motor, and it's just the angle for the skew as it works on the motor, so that's why it looks that way. So as you can see, my motor, and I just took some ropes and just tied it to the fence just to kind of help it from if there ever was some really bad wind. Now where I have it, I can't get the full arc because I got a fence right next to it, but what the fence does, it does windbreak it and prevent it from being blown down. So as you see what I've done there, the tripod comes with these little feet there, and what I did is I just screwed in some to the wood so that it will hold the tripod down, because I just decided I didn't want to use concrete and put it in. I figured maybe I might want to move it sometime. It's been here for quite a few years now. Another thing too, if you don't have a center block, you can use a bag of, I've seen people use fertilizer bags. This is sand. You know, just throw a bag on it, some bricks, just to help keep the dish from salt bags. It costs a few bucks. You got salt bags, yeah, everything you could think of just to keep it weighed down so it doesn't blow over in the wind. And I have a guide up. And yeah, when you drill in to your motor, make sure you be very careful with these aluminum screws. They can break right off on you, which kind of sucks. And I chatted with someone online, and a lot of the motors I saw from online stores, they're the European models where you have to have a clamp to it, it doesn't drop through where you can put this on it. But there's where you see the assembly, so that bolt goes through, and that's where I keep the elevation for the dish's motor. And then on the motor I have this white one goes to the LMB, and this black one goes in the house. I have this little rubber thingy here to help keep it from getting weathered. This one here has been weathered. It has little instructions there for the motor, east and west. It's at my house where I have the wires running up, so I just run the wires Had to dig it up in the ground. I put it in some pipe, some plastic pipe, and then just ran it into the house. And just keep like ants and things getting in, and just caulked it up real good. I got a few aerials in here. I have my TV antenna coax, my satellite. I have 2 satellite coaxes and an RG8, which is like for my CB radio antenna. I don't really use the CB radio antenna, but I just have it just in case I want to use it. It shouldn't be on the ground right there. My blue stick. There it is there, going up, like way up. And that's my LTSS dish, which is a Shaw Direct dish. That it's basically Shaw Direct, but it's like an LTSS account. And way up there is my H3 360 antenna craft antenna. Okay, I got some weeds growing up around the around where this dish is here. So what I did is I put this one in a bucket, put a little concrete at the bottom, and just simply take this old Shaw Direct dish that I've re-aimed it at 125 West so I can get the PBS channels. I talked about that in another video. Now, in doing some research about this, what I've discovered is you want to either, you can try to bang the bottom of your pole before you put the concrete in, or drill a hole through it and run like a screw or a rod or something. That way, the way I just dropped it in there, the pole spins in the concrete. It's kind of like how I did my C-band dish. Now this thing here, the pole has some wings to it, so it'll prevent it from turning in the concrete. And then with this big pole that I had down here with the old Black Beauty, it has some rods sticking through it, so just to prevent it from moving inside the concrete. Now my C-band dish, I just have it dug. There it is there. I have it dug down about 3 feet into the ground. This was the ideal spot for the C-band channels, just for it to be able to move on an arc. I think it might block out the 130 something satellite because where the house is, it just misses that one, but it gets all the others. So I have it angled so that kind of wind breaks it a little bit. The wires go down to that pipe which I have underground, which runs to the house. So that's the only one I have concreted down, and I have the bucket dish there, which I have for the PBS channels. And then this one here, which I have down there now that Black Beauty's gone, 87 West dish. So I use that for 87 West. And then over here, here's the garden. There's our rhubarb there, growing there. That one there, that's a Shaw Direct dish. I have that one aimed at 97 West for Galaxy 19 and all the Galaxy 19 channels. And that one I just have buckled to the fence, which is not the best setup either. Yeah, what I've discovered with there's a lot of the asparagus is growing up in there. What I have there is, I find with the wood it cures. So what happens is sometimes I have to move the dish. Also, this is right in where the wind is, so I'll hit this fence and kind of move it a little bit and cure the wood. So I find I have to come out here for my Sat Hero sometimes and adjust. I lose RT or something like that, and I want to just adjust it and get it back in order. Another thing you can do is get these little caps here for your LMBs for these Shaw Direct dishes, and they do have 4 outputs. So if you actually had 4 receivers, you want to watch Galaxy 19 on 4 different satellites, or the PBS mux on different areas in your house, you can run a cable to each ends of this. Here, I'll show it. Here. There, you can see up there where the cable is going. So that tripod is pretty good for that dish. But if you want to do it cheap, like I did, because I just had it laying around, a bucket and some extra concrete, you can always just do a bucket and just guide it against something so that it won't blow over. The main thing is like what I've had is it falls down onto the LMB, and then the LMB gets all cracked up. The plastic part's snug and it won't hold on to your dish properly. If you like this video, please give it a like. Share and subscribe to this channel, Auto Octane, and